Hello. Don't mind me wrestling with things. I'm just trying to figure out if this is... That is not the one I was looking for. It's fine. I was like, I have fully no clue what I'm doing this today, to be so honest. Today's been insane. Like, just personal life-wise. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have really good Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi here is supposed to be really good. I hope the stream's doing okay, but the music is like, ouch. And I'm like, hey, if you could actually function, that would be so lovely, my guy. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm just kind of like, we had a classic technical difficulties, which is funny because like the actual technical of the technical difficulties has not been a problem for a few weeks. So today everything's just spicy. The only candle I have lit is Hermes. I'm just like, hey ho Hermes, help with the live. Thanks so much, bro. You're a real one. I do consider sometimes that if there are like full whole hog Hellenic polytheists that ever watch any of my stuff, like I don't think any of my community are like full Hellenic polytheist. We're all kind of just like in our gray area where we have our various gods and it's fine. But I'm like, if a full proper like, especially like reconstructionist Hellenic polytheist watched me go like, yo, what's up Hermes, my guy, please and thank you, help with the live, sick. Like, it's not that they wouldn't believe that it was possible. They'd be like, yeah, he probably heard you, I don't know, but like, why do you talk to him like that? And I'm like, I know, I'm aware. I'm aware that I'm a little gremlin when it comes to speaking to the gods that I'm chill with. It's okay. I shall not be smote. I will not be smited on this day by his high holy Hermes. It'll be all right. How are y'all doing? I was gonna say I'm in space. That has connotations. That has implications that I am not. I'm just, my brain is like, woo, we checked out. This morning was crazy, and today was like very much a thing in a way that I was not expecting it to be so much of a thing. So I'm just like, okay, we're getting ready. I'm about to go out of town, see my friends, so I will accept the chaos that comes with that. Not that I have a choice, really. Feeling all the things? Yeah. I would really wish. Wait, you would really question how my interaction with the god are? Yeah, I mean, it's fair. We're all doing whatever we're doing. If our gods are fine with it, I guess we're okay. I'm not telling anyone else to speak to Hermes the way that I speak to Hermes. I'm just saying. It's probably okay. Ooh, pumpkin pie. No, that's great. Enjoy the pumpkin pie. That sounds the smell of the wafting smell of baking pumpkin pie is something that I'm envious of at this time. The dinner I made tonight was good, and it smelled good, but it did not smell as good as pumpkin pie. So, yeah, I was just saying I fully have no plan for tonight. This is pure just. We are rolling, we are going. I am going to vibe, and you guys will vibe with me because you are wonderful, and we enjoy that. But this is like, I joke. I don't joke. I talk about how whenever I come in with like a plan for the live, it usually means that the plan will not happen, so it's better if I come in with no plan. But even when I come in with no plan, I've thought of at least one thing to talk about. I've not done that today. Today is pure vibes. Yeah. I was what did I make? It was, I don't remember what like the actual name of the dish was. It was one of those like meal kit things. But it was like an Asian thing with a fake chicken, rice noodles. It was really good. Like, it's like oyster mushroom sauce, I think it was. I don't know. It might not have been that fancy, but I was just a sauce. I prefer making my own stuff. Like, I see the convenience of the like meal kits and stuff. They're not my favorite thing, but when you gotta feed people, you make the food. So that's a thing for the fam, since like I spend so much of my time taking care of the family and everything. Like they my mom was just like, we're gonna do this, and I was like, okay. So I spiced it up a little bit. I added a couple of extra like stuff. Just I love cooking, and I love cooking like intuitively and on the fly and everything. So following a super specific recipe, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to. But I mostly followed the recipe. I think I did everything the recipe said. I just also added stuff. Because I was like, I want this to be better than I know it's going to be if I don't do this. So I'm going to add things that I know are good. Anyway. Yeah, we are letting the energy just go. Yeah, Hermes is the only one that's lit right now, which may have something to do with how fast I'm speaking. I would have to grab it. I thought it was. I still have some candles right here. This one is the one that's gonna be Hecate's, but I have to do something else before I can consecrate her candle. I thought this was Odin's. I was thinking I have to go grab it, but I might do the writing and the decorating on Odin's candle tonight, just because that's a thing I haven't done yet, and it'll be like half chatty, half crafty, half like whatever. Like the labels for all the lives are just for just for vibes anyway. It's like the difference. I wanted to differentiate because I didn't want to be stuck doing sigils, because I love sigils, but I wanted to break from it. So that's why I was like, I'm going to switch it from like sigil live to like crafty live, but realistically, a like crafty live and a chatty live are kind of the same thing too. So it's like, it's okay. We're just going to vibe, especially now that we're doing one live a week, which is helping with the workload. I love doing 2 lives a week, and I miss doing 2 lives a week, but it makes my life so much simpler to do one. So, you know, it's, we're working it out. We're working things out. You met Santa? Yeah, we're finding the flow. We're working out. Like we're not even working out kinks. We're just working it out. We're just going. We're flowing. We're riding, we're vibing. I don't want to know how many times I've said we're vibing, or I'm just gonna vibe, or I don't want to know how many times I've said that tonight or in all of my lives. Hi, Aaron. How you doing? May have felt him flit through. Yeah. Hi ho Hermes, flying all over the place. Yeah, we're just like truly today, especially. I've been flying by the seat of my pants. This was one of those. I woke up this morning immediately to a call from a client being like, where's this thing that they were like, they wanted it by the end of the week, and then it's like, okay, I was gonna do it Thursday morning, calling me at 9 o'clock on Thursday morning being like, where's the thing I asked for at the end of the week? It's not the end of the week yet. Come on, my guy. Come on, man. Just so my day started off with that chaos, moved into some other mess, like, and it was just like, so I have been flying by the seat of my pants all day, so we're gonna keep doing that now. And that's why this live is what it is. Yeah, that's true. I should make a For the Vibes sign. I know. I really do love my little like emoji of the For the Vibes that I made for the Discord, but it's looking at it in retrospect, the colors are not high contrast enough and the letters are not big enough to actually be able to read it. So, you know. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. End of the week is Friday, not Thursday at 9 a.m. Yes, spring vibe. We love the spring vibes. It does feel. Today has felt like spring. It has also felt like a bunch of tiny little explosions. What are the little the little poppers that you throw on the ground? They go. It feels like that. It feels like someone's been throwing the little poppers at my feet, and I'm just like, okay. This does feel like a very Hermes charged live. I appreciate the help. I did ask for the help. I did not expect it to be this zippy. It's all spiky. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I'm like I could technically make a small for the vibes sign now. I have the same like fancy paper that I've used a couple times. I could technically make that now. I don't have it set up in the nice, easy, pretty look at what I'm doing version. That's why I was like I like the idea of the decorating candles on live because it's you don't have to see what I'm doing the entire time to kind of like get the gist of what's going on. Yeah, lots of small bursts of energy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Excuse me. And yeah, it's one of my best friend's birthdays on Saturday, so we're all going to Florida tomorrow, which is great. But it does mean it does mean that I have one less day to do all of the crazy work. That's like I'm not overflowed with work. I could use more work to be completely honest, but I have enough work that fitting the amount of work that came in today and the amount of work that I know I already had to do, that I was planning to finish today, so I wouldn't have to worry about it tomorrow. It was like a little spicy, a little spicy, little spiky, little zippy, little zappy zappy. You know what I'm saying? Need a sparkler in honor of little bursts of energy. That'd be cute. That'd be really cute. I do like. I guess the when you have the incense sticks, I don't. Is it in frame? It is in frame. Like they do always, especially when I was a kid, they looked like sparklers to me. Highly different function, but they look the same. And when you're a kid, you don't know the difference. So I was like, yeah. Honestly, I prefer incense to sparklers at this point in my life, but you know, sparklers are cute. And I have a cartoon image of Hermes running around with lit sparklers attached to the helmet. That's good. Just a whole... Oh, okay. Now I'm like... You got my artist brain going of having like an array of sparklers to where they're all... Like, they're lit in the right time and the right design to, like, have still the feathery winged design. Right? So I don't know if it's going to make any... I have such a clear visual in my head. It's the lit sparklers, the point at which they are sparkling and burning at a consistent rate makes that, like, wing shape. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too far in the abstract. It was also so yesterday was the Neptune Cazimi, Neptune conjunct the Sun. And as we've talked about before, Neptune is dreams, illusions, substances, all that jazz, which very ironic that it was so close to St. Patrick's Day. Not on top of it, but like having the proximity. I did have a friend who was like celebrating belated St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and I was like, yeah, that's a Sun conjunct Neptune vibe. Hello, kitten. Are you gonna slight cat tax? She's like, nah, put me down. All right. I was still thinking about getting the candle, but now there's a cat on my lap, and that's simply illegal, so it's okay. Yes. Okay. Kitten cat. Good little dusk. Yeah, so I'm truly... I can try to stay on topic with a spiritual topic. If anyone has any questions, hit me, and I'll see what I can do, but I was just like, I don't have the retention right now for like a clean, clear topic throughout the live. I too am in the short, like, bursts of energy phase. I had, like, again, that's been my entire day. So I had my short period. I had like an hour between me finishing making dinner and eating and everything and the live. So it's just like, okay, we're going to take our like our second period of like actual rest in the day, and then we're gonna go zipping around again. I cannot move now. I am legally bound to stay sitting here. Ever met a leprechaun? Have I? I've met enough fae that I probably when I was like newer to it, I probably thought one of them was a leprechaun, but I don't remember. I remember not a leprechaun. That wasn't meant to be an accent, but it's me. Accents happen. It's okay. Yeah, that's cool. We're just chatting. As long as y'all are fine with me yapping, we're good. I was thinking, since I can't go and get Odin's candle right now, because I still haven't even lit it once. It took so long for me to get him a candle, and I still haven't decorated it, dedicated it, lit it once. Nothing. But I was just thinking about like, I do. Ooh, that's a good one. I do think I've been in the vibe lately of like just decorate things. Like I don't even think I want to put any sigils on Odin's candle. I don't want to put any specific runes on it because like I know Odin has a rune associated with him, and I think isn't it Othala or Othala or whatever. And then like that's one of the ones that like if you do it on its own, it's like I don't know, man. I really like runes. But it does the political issues surrounding everything make me stressed out. So I'm like, I don't want to necessarily put any runes on his candle. So I was like, I might just literally decorate it. Like I had it feels like such a shame to use this fancy nice paper as scratch paper, but I literally have so much of it. This is just gonna be my little scratch paper for a second. Of like, I want to do. This is gonna be the worst rendered drawing you've ever seen. But like, for some reason I want to do that with you can't even see there. I don't know. That's not a sigil I've made before. That's not a rune. That's not an anything. It's literally just, for some reason, I want to put that on Odin's candle. And I know not the reason. I have no explanation for ye. It's just the two triangles with a little dot in the middle is just the vibe. I mean, like it does get, ironically, with the Santa comments, it does give like Christmas tree a little bit, which is not the same as the world tree at all. But like that could almost be Odin-esque, Odinized, Odinish. Triangles have been so prevalent, really. And zoos. Okay. I was like, I feel like I just can't keep it. Thus far, I have not done the work to keep all of the runes straight. What is it? Odin's rune. Yes, that's about Odin finding the runes. We know about that. Yeah, Ansu's. Okay, so that's this one. I really did. I need to talk to Camden again and learn more rune things and get more stuff. Get more stuff. Like, I need to retain more stuff is what I mean. Runes are so cool. They are also difficult. Okay, see, this one... This other... I literally just Googled it, right? But, like, this other one says Othala is Odin's rune. So I think there must just be conflicting stuff. I don't know. Yeah, okay, because this was... I think this is maybe the symbol that I was thinking of with the triangle things. But that's not the symbol that I saw. The symbol that I saw is that one. So... Get more knowledge. Always working on getting more knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, I do... I do think... Do I think that Santa is Fae? I'm still pondering. I'm not stalling, but I am still pondering. Because I'm like, Bubby, will you... Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Thank you. When I think of Santa, I still think of, like, in terms of, like, an entity... I think of him more in that association with things like Amanita muscaria and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying he's the same as, like... This might be way too in-deep on psychedelic pop culture knowledge, but, like, all the stuff about, like, Terrence McKenna and DMT and machine elves and all this crazy stuff, like, I'm not deep into any of that, but, like, that's the thing that like, like not in that way associated with Amanita muscaria, but just in the way of like he makes so much more sense as like an entity within that logic of that kind of like I don't. This is what happens when I let my spirit brain run too fast and I haven't caught up yet, as I'm like, yes, of course, Santa is an entity associated with the hallucinogenic mushroom and Amanita muscaria that really only makes sense within the world of the mushroom. Like, right? Like I'm not trying to be overly poetic about it or anything. It's just like I don't think of it. Long answer short, I don't think of him as a traditional fae. I would associate him with the fae. That's my answer. But clearly, I have not done enough exploration into that to have any clear, firm answer on that for you. Requisite poor Odin for the live. Yeah, pretty much. Man, I really gotta figure out how to stop that camera from zooming in on my bald head. It's okay. Caught Odin and Loki playing Scrabble. Nice. Yeah, looking at numbers, seeing numbers, looking for them, not looking for them. Yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah, Anzus is the rune for Odin. Cool. I really do. Sometimes when I really get on the app train, I don't forget the chat is there. I want to hear and I want to see what you guys are saying, but I just get so far into it that I'm just like going so far. I'm like, oh, there's a whole 2 screens worth of chats I haven't read. Yeah, Sigil Live was fun. I love doing the Sigil Lives. They are so much fun. I just like I think I have a hard time when I don't. It's not that I don't know what to do. It's that like it's part of feeling out the energy of what's going to be good that night too. Like so like doing a Sigil Live on the eclipse is not something I would normally do on purpose. I have done a single Sigil Live that was specifically on purpose to be during an eclipse previously on the previous eclipse cycle. But yeah. No, that is a wire, young man. You cannot eat that. You've seen this so many times if you've never tried to eat it. You cannot eat this. Sweet boy. Sweet summer child. ADHD running really wild. ADHD is going. Well, cuz I'm just so in the soup is the only phrase that's coming to mind. But wires are yummy. I know. Like there's just so many little bits and bobs and pieces that are floating around that are all chopped up little ideas that's like in the soup. Like there's so many fragments of ideas and objects and items. So that was the other reason that I was like, I probably need to just keep the live short-ish tonight. I'm still planning to go like between 30 and 45 minutes at least. But it's just like there's so much going on today, right now. There's just like I just need. It's like I'm gonna do the live, I'm gonna enjoy the live, we're gonna have a great time, and then I'm gonna try and like almost use this as my extroverted moment to get everything out, and then I'm gonna have to try and focus on chores and a little bit of work again after this. But yeah, I do. I was halfway making a point of like I've seen this post like on Facebook and other places too, right? Of like the world used to be so decorated and ornamented, and then we like switched to this utilitarian, brutalistic architecture style and all these things, especially in the US. Hi Vesta. And I've just been thinking about that a lot lately. And so that's why I was like, I kind of want to like just decorate Odin's candle and not necessarily put like specific sigils on it and specific stuff. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the lives are always like you can choose to just watch and listen to me chat, and that's totally up to you, but the lives definitely are conducive to a little bit of a body doubling moment for sure. I mean, I've been needing the body doubling while I try and get my work done the last week. Like I've been more productive the last week, which has been great, but I've also consumed so many podcasts because I need the body doubling element. and that is fill Odin's with emojis. Odin would definitely have the like sort of like he wouldn't have it. He would have like the kissy face emoji, and it'd be like half sarcastic. Like he's such love Odin, great guy, great god. He's such a stereotypical old man sometimes, which he's kind of supposed to be, right? But it's just the jokes that he makes whenever I do talk to him are so like, oh, you are like 70 years old. Like obviously he's not 70 years old, but like, oh, you are basically a 70-year-old, like you're just like a 70-year-old man. Like that's the sense of humor that he has. Like, dude, what the hell, man? Oh, I really was gonna actually work on his candle, but I am trapped by the cat on the lap, so I cannot do it. I don't know why I'm so in on the triangle thing. You were saying triangles were really prevalent recently? Was that Christina? What was that about? You got lots of triangles coming around everywhere. I'm literally just drawing triangles now. I'm also attempting to talk and be entertaining, but now I'm literally just drawing triangles. just triangles. I don't know, man. This is the most For the Vibes live that we've ever had. I normally try to have it at least centered and grounded on like one thing, one concept that I can come back to. No, we're just chatting. This live is essentially a FaceTime. Except that everybody's in chat instead of on the other line, right? This is what I had in me, and I was like, well, we'll do that, and everybody will enjoy it, or if they don't, it'll be okay, and they'll come back. We'll do it again next week. But how many deities I work with? That's a more complicated question than I really. Just because I haven't counted, and because how many I'm like actively working with. So I've made this distinction before, right? There's a difference between like having a relationship with a deity and working with a deity. And within like relationships with deities and within working with deities, there are different levels to that as well. So like I work with Aphrodite, I'm doing stuff with Apollo, but I wouldn't even necessarily call it. I guess I'm working with Apollo currently. Like I'm a devotee of Aphrodite and Apollo. I am a devotee of two deities, which does not requisite that you're like actively working with them, but you have some level of like devotional practice. So I'm definitely doing that. But I've been released. There was a sound and the kitten ran away. But in terms of like actively working with, probably I think Hermes counts, Aphrodite definitely counts, Apollo maybe. I guess I'm still yeah, this is why I'm like, it's a complicated question. It shouldn't be. Realistically, under most circumstances, you would probably have a pretty well-defined thing. But because those three are the ones that I do stuff with the most, like, I'm kind of always working with them, and I'm kind of always not at the same time. Like, it's much like smaller things as opposed to, much like more grandiose long-term plans of working together with deities. So I have one deity or like one entity that I haven't really talked about on live that I know was down to work with me, and I think I would have to check in with them to see if they still want to do that, because I've just been I didn't want to like commit to another thing and do it half-assed, right? And then like there's the angels. I'm always doing shit with the angels, but like they're angels, they're like, it's just a different relationship. So it's like, sure, I like work with specific angels, but like, so short answer to that question is probably I'm currently working with technically three deities, because that would be Aphrodite, Apollo, and Hermes. Odin's always on the back burner. He's always there. I'll listen if he has anything to say, but we're not actively working together. Same with that other entity right now. Yeah. That's you, Santa Muerte. Yeah. Santa Muerte is cool. I've had the funny thing. I have, because so many deities, their vibe and what they do and what they're like and what they're about, like sort of engenders this different following in their followers and how they like talk about them and how they may or may not like spread information about them. So Santa Muerte is a really interesting one to me because I'm like, I don't really have any need to work with Santa Muerte for anything. But she's fascinating and she's interesting. She's the same, like, I would probably give her a similar treatment to what I've been giving Odin of, like, I would listen if she had anything to say, but I probably wouldn't enter, like, a working relationship with her right now just because I don't need to. But, she's cool. She's almost too cool. If you know what I mean. Like, and I don't mean too popular either. Like, and I guess, like, I'm sort of I'm still background working with Hecate. We haven't gotten in deep on that. I'm in, like, the beginning stages of working with Hecate and Persephone. I guess I'm kind of always working with Hades, but also it's weird because I literally, that's what I mean when I'm like, my underworld job is literally working for Hades as opposed to me working with Hades. So, like, I'm not doing a bunch of stuff up here that's for Hades. It's just when I do my underworld work, doing that work is for him, you know? So that's why I'm like, it's a complicated how many. I'm actively 3, 2 in the works, and then Hades is, that relationship is whatever it is. Yeah, okay, yeah. She's got secrets. She certainly does. Yeah, sticking to 1 or 2 at a time is a lot easier, I'll say. I'll say that's a lot easier. And again, that's why I'm like, I don't really want to, like, half-ass anything with any of these. Because I'm like, I do, like, part of it is my respect and my attention is a given in that working relationship, and if I don't have a lot of, like, spare brain power and like energy to give, like, extra attention and to, like, really tune in and try and keep doing that work, like it doesn't need to be on my mind 24/7, but if I know that I'm trying to work with a deity and I'm not, and I know that I'm not putting in that effort at least every, like, week or 2, then I'm just like, okay, maybe this is not the right time because I know that there's probably more that we need to, or that we could get to with this if I were a little more dedicated to it at this time. So that's how my working relationships with deities work. Honestly, part of the social media thing and part of doing the lives is part of my working with Hermes, right? Like, I've kind of talked about that before. Like, if anyone's candles lit during lives, it's probably Hermes. I think there's been a couple lives where I've had only Apollo's lit and not Hermes, but, like, that's part of what we're doing. And this, like, my modes of communication and, like, translation of information are all, like, technically me working with Hermes. A lot of my, like, music and sort of free time creativity work, like, stuff that I'm doing, that's all either working with or dedicated to Apollo, more or less. My own personal work and, like, self-love and that kind of thing, some personal work comes from Apollo, but self-love type work and anything where I am working on, like, dating relationships and things like that, that's all with/for Aphrodite. So, like, those 3 I'm pretty much always doing to some extent. So that's why they're the 3 that I'm pretty much always working with to some extent, right? It's much easier to do your to define your, like, working with deities based on a, like, goal by goal sort of relationship. Normally it's going to be a bigger goal, and normally you're going to have, like, a conversation about what you're working on together. Whereas with these 3 specifically, we're kind of just working on ongoing things. I'm technically not even a devotee of Hermes. Technically, we only work together, but also, like, I don't know, I like the guy. So, you know. Can't tell who's still in a working relationship with her. I think she's still around in the background, but I don't really feel her around, so... Yeah, I have had those moments, and the thing is, like, I may be misrepresenting it a little bit. You don't have to be, like, actively all the time working with them to still be working towards the same goal together. I will say like the vibe I get is you're probably right. You're probably not like actively doing stuff, but that doesn't mean that your like relationship with her is not still current, you know? If that makes sense. I'm not really sure what people mean when they're working with deities. Do you have tasks to complete for them? Do you have assignments? Or, good question. Uh, it all does tie back into the stuff I was just saying, but I don't know how to rephrase that I don't know how to reframe the answer into that question. It's you are, like I said, you're usually working towards some kind of goal when you're working with a deity. There are this like variable level of relationships that you can have, where you may or may not be working with them, but you have a relationship with them. Like that is, sorry, I was trying to turn that down, not up. Okay, that may or may not. If you're working with them, you're working on something. There are people, there are entities that will tell you things to do, and they'll just be like, hey, you should probably just go do this. And you don't have to do it, but they're sort of giving you an in of like, this is a thing that I think you should do. If you want to work together, go ahead and just give it a shot. So sometimes that does happen. Generally speaking, like it's such a personal thing. Like I would define working with a deity, quote unquote, as you have a goal that you and a deity have sort of discussed through whatever divination method, whatever intuitive, whatever, that you're both willing to work towards. They will probably get something out of it, and that may or may not be like things that you inadvertently do for them that just like you don't have to do anything. It's just what you were going to do anyway will like have some kind of positive effect for them, or giving them offerings while you're working with them, or whatever. Like it's a little bit variable from entity to entity, but regardless, there's something in mind that you're working towards for you that this deity's helping you with. That's like the simplest version. So what does it look like? It could be, Brain said life coach. That's fair. Did they ask you to do something, or do you just know what they need from you? For the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a like, again, you already have some level of established relationship, and then they ask you to do something, or you ask them for something and they tell you what to do. That's how I'm going to describe that in this context. Are there times when, especially once you've been working together for a while, you just know what they need you or probably want you to do? Yeah. But especially when you're establishing a working relationship with an entity, I would say you're probably going to be pretty clear on what they're intending for you to at least try out. Again, like whatever your normal divination methods are, whether it's tarot cards or whether it's going to a medium if you have to, like, which obviously it's very useful. I have a session set up for next week with a medium that I like and trust, and I just want like, and I'm like, I don't even need you to tune in necessarily. I just need someone else to like say these things to, and like just be you, like just have the background knowledge of the things that you know, and just let me like talk to you about these things, like whatever it is. You'll get some kind of direction from the deity, and that direction may be book a session with this medium and just talk to them for a while. Like, you know. I don't mean to make it like a book now thing, but like, if you want to, right? But it's just like you will get a picture of what a deity wants you to do in order to achieve the goal that you're working together towards, and that idea of what you need to do may or may not come from sitting down and being like, Oh, great deity, give me your input. What's the schedule looking like, my guy? What's on the docket for today? It may not look like that. It may just be you're out and about and you like they pop into your mind. You're like, oh, that's for them. That's what I'm supposed to be doing for them, right? So, if you need more clarification, by all means, ask again, ask a rephrase, ask whatever you need. But I think I've probably rambled around that one enough for now. Very much like personal life coach, that can be, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I do think, I don't know if this, I wouldn't say this is why I'm specifically a devotee of Aphrodite and Apollo. Like, those relationships are what they are. But when we are actively working together, those two are the ones that are the most like a life coach. Like, Hermes just lets me fucking go. Hermes just says, all right, you want help? I'll help. Go. Not even I'll catch up. It's, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Just go. And I think, honestly, maybe that's part of what we're working on. Free-flowing communication, not like getting too into the weeds, just moving forward, right? Because I do tend to get into the weeds on things, and that's good and that's bad, you know. So I think that's probably part of what I'm doing with Hermes is the just go mentality of like, stop fussing and start stop fussing and start starting. But yeah, with both Apollo and Aphrodite, it's much more life coach vibes. Thanks, y'all, and thank you, Amber. Yeah, the deity like pop in vibe is honestly the easiest. It's much easier than sitting down and trying to figure out what they want you to do. It's just like go to the metaphysical store or the whatever, or go to the, I almost said the Target. We're not going to Target. But go to the local farmer's market, whatever. And if you see something and the deity like pops up in your brain, maybe they want it, maybe they want you to have it, whatever. Like, that's a really easy way to just keep yourself open to like your people that you know are on your side, right? Like, you don't just have to be open to everybody. You've still got your normal shield and your normal energy maintenance and blah, 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 blah. But stupid camera. Yeah. Yeah, something where they wanted devotional weekly vibes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I now have a weekly sort of standard meeting with Apollo on Sundays, which was not meant to be funny and a pun, but it's Apollo, and of course it's going to happen on Sundays, right? Duh. So, but I have a weekly, again, meeting with Apollo, and I have a similar, like, most weeks I do the same thing with Aphrodite. Honestly, the Aphrodite stuff's a lot more ongoing at this moment in time, so I don't really have to, like, go up and talk to her. Honestly, my relationship with her is just so ingrained as what it is, you know, that, like, I don't have to stop and think about it too much anymore. It's kind of just always going or not going at any given time. But yeah, regardless, both of them have some level of like semi-formal meeting at some point, excuse me, where we will like check in, and it is like a life coach or like a mentor or something, and we'll talk about what we need to talk about what we need to talk about from there. These are great for people like to pebble to shut the hell up. Yes, correct. Love that. Yeah, the no devotional energy mode, completely fine. Also, it does lend, like, that style of practice does lend itself a little bit more to that, like, working with one or two entities at a time. Like, part of the reason that I'm working with so many at a time is because I want to do the devotional part. Like, that's part of what's cool and what's interesting, and like that's part of our relationship, and I like that. But if you don't want to do that, it's much easier to just focus on one, maybe two entities from that working perspective and from that like reciprocity perspective, where like they're getting whatever they're getting out of it, whatever you've either talked about or not talked about, that they just get because you're doing the thing. and you're getting what you're getting. Like that, you don't have, the devotion is optional. It's, if you're in a structure, if you're in a system, if you are a Hellenic polytheist, devotion is like non-negotiable. It's part of the practice, right? But if you're not a Hellenic polytheist in like the formal like religious structure, then you're just doing what you're doing. And you're working on what you're working on. Yeah. Yeah. That tracks. Okay. I'm gonna start winding down here, because I do have to, I gotta clean, I gotta pack, I gotta probably send out another proof tonight, which I don't want to do, but I don't want to do it in the morning either, so gotta do it now. So I'm gonna start winding down. Odin does just pop in and say random things. That's just Odin. That's just what he does. Excuse me. Grab the book. Book time. Yeah. Sorry, that's so funny, Lid. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do our bibliomancy moment, and I'm gonna call it a night here. Yes. I'm going to a friend's birthday in Florida, which is happening on Saturday, but we're all getting there tomorrow night, so we can start hanging out, because we all have to be back for Monday anyway. So, going down for grand 30th birthday for one of my best friends, so looking forward to that. Yeah. All right, bibliomancy time. I gotta ground. I gotta chill. Y'all know the drill. If you want in, do your thing. I'm just gonna do that again, because that felt good. I needed that. Okay. Okay, so this is passage 11. I was honestly like, we're so early in the book, we might still be in the introduction. Okay, passage 11. 11. Sorry. 30 spokes join one hub. The wheels use commas from... Wait. The wheels use comes from emptiness. Clay is fired to make a pot. The pot's use comes from emptiness. Windows and doors are cut to make a room. The room's use comes from emptiness. Therefore, having leads to profit. Not having leads to use. Sorry, I'm going to read that again. I was so thrown off. I'm going to my friend's 30th birthday, which is happening in 2 days, and the first word in the passage is 30. Okay, I'm going to read it again. 30 spokes join one hub. The wheel's use comes from emptiness. Clay is fired to make a pot. The pot's use comes from emptiness. Windows and doors are cut to make a room. The room's use comes from emptiness. Therefore, having leads to profit. Not having leads to use. I like it. I like that one a lot. Okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for hanging out on our somewhat slightly quicker live tonight. Appreciate y'all being here. I like hanging out with y'all. Y'all are cool people. I'm gonna try and calm down. I'm gonna try and get some work done. Thank you guys, and I will. Yeah, I'll see you next Thursday. Have a good one.